Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda, and please welcome to our Operation Freedom platform, WeThePeopleProcessing.com. You know, are you tired of being threatened to be canceled just because you have a company focused on liberty and freedom? Well, worry no more, folks. WeThePeopleProcessing.com is your go-to merchant services, freedom-based company to provide business service payment solutions. We the People Processing provides their clients a cancel culture-free platform which is domestically based. They provide competitive rates, no contracts with next-day funding, a fully vetted and like-minded financial infrastructure, and full support for integrations, implementation, and e-commerce efforts. Bottom line, WeThePeopleProcessing.com focuses on defending your company's free market growth, values, and future. Check them out at www.WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Once you're on the site, enter in password Operation Freedom or call 855-499-2024. That's WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Then, when on the website, enter Operation Freedom as your password or call 855-499-2024.
Mr. President-elect,
go ahead.
Can you state
She's
categorically?
asking a question.
Mr.
Don't be
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You are
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a
question.
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to Dave versus the MSM. I'd like to thank you for joining me today and wish you a happy new year. Oh, Dave, 2023, the syndicate, the globalist cult, Dave, it's not going to be a good year. No, don't. I don't want to, I'm not feeding you hopium, but I don't want you buying into their propaganda and their info war to the level where you don't realize what these folks are up to. Look, we're better off right now than we were a year ago. Why do I say that? Look at what's happened just on the Twitter side of this equation. Now, I understand you can be, well, I don't know about that guy. I'm watching him. Okay, good. No, you're right. You should watch him, right? Because, and you should watch every player. But if you watch the reaction from the globalist cult puppets and who they're targeting, they're not happy. They're not in the driver's seat. Oh, they still have the Senate in Washington and they still have the White House. I get it. But look at how they're acting. No, I think this is going to be a good new year. And I think it's going to be a good year. Now, one way we can have an even better year is to anticipate what they're going to focus on and how to end run them and, if you will, head them off at the pass. Okay. Every year, they have this globalist cult puppet event. We're all the globalist cult puppets. The Gates and the Faucis and the Macrons and the Bidens and the, they all show up in Davos, Switzerland. It's like mid to end of January. I think this year it's 18th or 23rd or something like that. And they come there, and they have their plans all set up. Okay, gang, this is what we're going to introduce this year. This is what we're going to do. It's their operations essential meeting and the plan ahead. This is what has generated the Build Back Better plan. Remember all that? The Great Reset, their ESG programs were all facilitated and advanced through this Davos event. Now, they have pre-released their agenda for this meeting, which is their agenda for the year and years to come. Okay? And some folks, along with Jordan Schachtel, got a hold of it.
This year's Switzerland Confab will be titled Cooperation in a Fragmented World. Well, wait, the world is fragmented because of them, because they're all about divide and conquer, right? Excuse me. When they divide and conquer, they have all of us doing this, and nobody points the finger rightfully at them, who are the cause of all this, the globalist cult and their puppets, all the way up the food chain, right? Okay. So, and as far as cooperation, remember, whatever they say, flip it 180 degrees. So it's really about oppression and a lack of cooperation in a fragmented world that they're happy about, that they help create. The major themes for the gathering will include the following. 1. Addressing the current energy and food crises in the context of a new system for energy, climate, and nature. Translation, essentially, the World Economic Forum that holds this event, in their Bonneville and Klaus Schwab, the world that wants you to eat bugs, crickets. No, they really do. While energy becomes unaffordable, because they want you hungry, maybe even starving, and cold, if not frostbitten. No, they want that. Because the more misery you are in, they believe you will come to them sooner and say, I'll give you up the rest of my freedom, just make me warmer and make me so I'm not hungry. Why do they think that would work? Because it's worked in the past. Look at the past 3 years, right? What did they do? Think about it. Lockdown. Do this. Take that. Don't ask questions. And we'll make sure you're okay. Oh, yeah. Right? This is purposeful, Jordan Schachtel, purposeful destruction of the global reliable energy sector and food sectors. Right? Food security, energy security, right? This green transition. It's about making you more vulnerable, therefore more willing to accept their totalitarian freedom-stripping agenda. That's what they're going to be talking about. How are we going to do that? 2. Addressing the current high inflation, low growth, high debt economy of the world in the context of a new system for investment, trade, and infrastructure. Okay, look, they are responsible for high inflation, low growth, and high debt economy, but they don't want you pointing the finger. See, this part of the agenda is going to be how do we get the public to completely blame Russia, Putin, COVID for all this, and not us. It's a big topic of conversation at this Davos meeting coming up, right? Now, the best thing to do on all these entities, whether it's about energy and food and about where the economy is, because they keep saying, we might be coming into a recession. Sorry, past tense. We've been in a recession for many months, been in a depression for several months, and you need to know let your elected representatives, local, state, national, we're on to this. Don't give me this garbage about, it's all about Russia and COVID and all this because of the economy. No, it's you guys, what you've been doing. And the people that fund you, all those bankers and that Sam Bankman-Fried guy who's been funding both sides. Right. Mainly the D's, but still some of the R's. And this whole energy thing and this whole food supply chain issue, no, that's on you guys. Stop it. You see, once they realize you're wise to who's responsible, they tend to back off on their agenda items. 3rd item, addressing the current industry headwinds in the context of a new system for harnessing frontier technologies for private sector innovation and resilience. In other words, we got to find a way to pull this ESG thing off because people are getting wise to it because it's just crushing businesses throughout the world, and they're wise to that, and they're blowing back on this ESG thing. We need to retool ourselves because we need a way to have people want to sacrifice in order for our ESG projects to get through, and we're failing. 4th item, addressing the current social vulnerabilities in the context of a new system for work, skills, and care. Look, as Schachtel notes, this is just jargon to convince you to hand over more of your personal sovereignty and freedoms and liberty to the technocratic, globalist cult tyrants. Okay? They are working on ways in which, what can we do to make these people stop this awakening process? Too many millions, tens of hundreds of millions are awakening around the world. We got to stop that. And we got to find a way. What can I do to help you? Finally, addressing the current geopolitical risks in the context of a new system for dialogue and cooperation in a multipolar world. Look, more hoax stuff, more coercion. This is about how you will own nothing and be happy about it, and to obey the dictates of the World Economic Forum, the IMF, the Bank of International Settlements, the Federal Reserve System, the central bank system, your federal, state, local, globalist cult puppets who are owned and operated by the syndicate. That's what this is about. Just letting them take care of you. And then they'll promise to keep you safe. And the best way to diffuse that is say, I don't know what you're up to. Stop it. You're not going to take care of me. You showed me that over the last 3 years. You're going to lie to me. No. You're done. If you keep pushing this agenda, if you keep pushing what you've been pushing, no. We're going to find somebody to run against you and remove you through a primary. We're going to call you out. Yeah. And there's one other thing to do. Many people say, well, I just don't know what I can do to make a difference. I don't know what I possibly could do to change things. There's a Democrat attorney by the name of Cox who sued the governor of New York, Hochul, because she was going to have these quarantine camps. And she based the case completely on it's unconstitutional. And she won. And what Cox has come out and said, this attorney, a D no less, said, listen, you want to end all this stuff? You want to end all this nonsense? You want to end all this totalitarian stuff? It's very simple. Teach the Constitution at the elementary level, school, middle school, high school, college, graduate school, and have availability for the general public to learn about the Constitution. Because if people, she said, the Constitution might not be perfect, but it's brilliant. And it focuses on government is not there to commandeer, oppress the public. The Constitution is about limiting government's power on the people who really run the show, and that's the citizens. I think she's right. It seems simple, but it's monumental. If people understand, many people have no concept of what the Constitution is or about. Once they realize and are educated about the power of the Constitution, why do you think the syndicate, the Schwabs, the Soroses of the world, their owners, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Lazards, Pinkuses, Warburgs, Seifs, Pesor family, the very top of the pyramid, why do you think they have targeted the Constitution over many decades' time? Because the Constitution ends their reign of terror and a knowledge base of the Constitution. Nobody in their right mind would say, hey, I like what they've been dishing out over a number of decades' time versus what this document says about my empowerment, my freedom, my liberty, my ability to use my God-given abilities and talents to do what I want with them without coercion. That attorney Cox is 100% right and accurate. Her exact words: the Constitution is not perfect, but it's brilliant. School should require learning about the U.S. Constitution, from the little kids all the way up through high school into college, graduate school, for every person in the country. The Constitution was written to keep the government in check. The Constitution wasn't written to keep people in check. When a governor such as Hochul takes on powers that properly belong to the legislature, that's tyranny, she stated. She went on, the attitude is kind of like, well, we know what we can't do this, but we're going to try to do it anyway. And then theory then becomes catch me if you can. And with a knowledge base of the Constitution, they don't try it because they know it's not going to fly. The key is empowering people, educating people on the freedom side of the equation. And the document that's been really effective for the past 200 years, just that people haven't been exposed to it, thanks to our educational system, and that's not incompetence, it's willful, is the Constitution. The single greatest thing you can do this new year is get some copies of the Constitution and give them to every one of your friends and family. Mm-hmm. And then go back to them every week and say, did you read what I gave you? Did you? Let's talk about it. What'd you learn? What surprised you? How does what's happening today fit in with that? You talk about an awakening like you've never seen before. This is going to be a good year. But it's dependent on you not sitting on your couch and not consuming the bought-off lamestream fake media. It's about you, simple act. We know what they're going to do with their agenda. They've already given you the heads up. But you know what trumps it? The Constitution. Trumps their whole agenda. You want to stop it? Get a copy of the Constitution. Give it to anyone and everyone you know. And watch and marvel at the awakening. I thank you for joining me today. We are available 24/7 at davejanda.com. We hope you'll join us there and become part of our Freedom family and part of our premium service subscription service. It's a gift that keeps on giving. 30 cents a day for priceless information. We hope you become part of our Freedom family. Happy New Year. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. Thanks for your time today.